Almost all of the pregnant teens and adolescent moms attending secondary schools were under the age of 16 when they were sexually engaged, and that constitutes a crime. They should not have to pay for that crime at the cost of losing out access to education, says Chief Education Officer Marcel Hudson.
We recognize that many of these girls may not become pregnant because of their own volition, but because of different issues that might be working against them. So the tracking system will help adolescents to assess adequate pre and post care, increase their readiness for their change in status, and eventual readiness for school success and participation in community life.
The Chief Education Officer says that the reintegration policy aims at facilitating the re-entry or readmission of adolescent mothers to the same school they attended prior to their pregnancies, or their admission into alternative schools in mainstream education for at least 6 weeks after birth, or as soon as circumstances permit after they may have become pregnant.
But it also attempts to prevent persons from becoming pregnant, which means that a component of this policy has to do with teaching. This will ultimately help to reduce the number of pregnancies among school-age girls and increase the number of adolescent mothers who re-enter the formal school system to complete their secondary education.
According to Mr. Hudson, the Ministry of Education recognizes that in the past, many persons may not have been in agreement with pregnant teens or adolescent moms attending schools because of their orientation or views towards such matters. However, these young females should not be prevented from equal access to education, he says.
But the crux of the matter is that by sensitizing the public, sensitizing our teachers and our children, we hope that this policy will be accepted by all. A factor that must not be discounted is that many adolescent pregnancies may be a consequence of forced sex rather than consensual or risky sexual behavior, and therefore we have a responsibility to protect those girls.
He added that the idea of this policy is to make sure that all students in public schools are cared for, safe and protected, regardless of the circumstances which they may be facing.
It is the intention of the Ministry of Education to put measures in place to ensure that the reintegration policy is widely disseminated to all key and relevant stakeholders, that steps are taken to facilitate the effective implementation and the monitoring of the reintegration policy.
Reporting for HGP Nightly News, I am Kristen Macklingam.